The minutes were circulated via email. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve our October minutes? Deanna, second? Ashley, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, I'm going to turn the floor over to Mr. Mann.
That was quick. So I'm going to go through a couple of things and kind of give you some more things to think about as we're talking through stuff. So here's the enrollment numbers. So I looked, and the only change from last time we were together to this time is with Cypress Grove, so they've added 6 more kids. But typically what we see this time of year is we see that leveling off. We may see an increase of unenrollment, but then we'll see an increase of re-enrollment around the break time, just because families from A&M may be finishing up and moving on somewhere else. We also see some of our families return back to their home countries for several weeks during this break, and so we encourage them to unenroll because the process is just easier that way. So we'll see those numbers fluctuate at the semester, but again, I think for us, we'll stay pretty much around that 9-10 mark throughout the rest of the year, within 10 plus or minus 10 each side. As for next year, we'll see what happens tomorrow. So, third 6 weeks has started. It started on Monday. Going out tomorrow, so be sure to look out for those and communicate with your teachers if you have questions. I put up here the major events that are coming up. The ones of note that obviously, yes, Thanksgiving break, but right before, the day before Thanksgiving break, if you're the parent of an 8th grader, we will have the K tours that day, and so that's the day that we load up all of our 8th grade kids, take them to the high school, and they get to walk through Consol and see all of the different career and technology education programs that are available, get to ask questions, get to see some cool demonstrations. We take half in the morning and half in the afternoon. It's kind of how we divvy that out. It would be very difficult to take all 450 kids at once. But we'll do that on that day. We figure that's a pretty good day because it's the day before Thanksgiving break, to keep kids, you know, kind of, hey, I'm in school, and we have a day off tomorrow, because that's usually always a struggle, the day before day off. Mid-JHS meeting, December 5th through the 9th, Hour of Code Week, and so we're going to have a push to increase activities for kids in coding, just because that's the future. There's so many jobs that are out there right now that are not even filled in their coding related work, and there's also a big need for women to be involved in the coding industry. And so we're talking about how we can make this more enticing for girls to be a part of, because that's a big area of need. In fact, I didn't realize this until I started learning more about it. You could go to YouTube and start looking for commercials from the 1980s in computers, and you'll see how everything is geared towards boys in those commercials. All the advertising is geared towards boys. And so that's really been a hard piece for the industry to overcome. And there's so many cool things that we have seen just within our building, starting at Oakwood and here, that girls have gotten excited about with coding and learning how to write code. But something happens and they lose that whenever they get older and get into other things. And so, but more importantly than just the girl involvement, it is the future. Computers aren't going away. And so it's another language. And if you learn how to write that language, you can do a lot of things. That's where all the latest and greatest stuff come from. You know, so it's very exciting, and I want to see us continue to push that. One day I would love for it to be a course in CSISD, to actually kids learn how to write code as part of a semester long course. We'll see, possible. Final exams, Thursday, Friday, Monday, and then we'll have early dismissal day on that Tuesday. It's just because the calendar, as it was explained to me, it just so happens about every 7 years, it works out this way. It wasn't an intentional, we had to have 2 days before the break. It's just the way that the rotation of calendars, I don't know, what do you call it, just our calendar. Not the school calendar, but the world calendar, I guess. You know, the American calendar. Just the way it falls out. And so it's an inconvenience. And if I've had parents contact me that they're leaving town, and just communicate with me so that we can set up a plan for the finals and make sure that we get that taken care of. And it's either we take them before you leave, or we'll have it set up for that first day back, just like we do in high school, where you take that exam that first day back, depending upon what's going on and why you're not here. So, and then we have winter break, and then first day of the spring semester is on the 5th for students. As staff, we will come back and have a staff development day on the 4th. But the first day for kids is the 5th, which is a Thursday. So just so you have that. And then just planning forward, registration for 6th to 7th and 7th to 8th will be in mid-January, and then 8th to 9th will be in mid-February. And that's part of why we start with the K tours, is to kind of get kids thinking about what they're doing. What I am planning on doing this year is I'm actually going to record a lot of things, video record a lot of things, because the day before Thanksgiving, and we don't talk about this again until January, you know, they're going to forget. We all forget stuff. And so I want to put things together to help push out videos as reminders of, yeah, this is what this course was about. And remember, they have this program up there. And just to help kids remember as they start to sit and look and figure out what they want to do. So does that make sense? Any questions about any of that stuff? Any of the major dates and things coming up? So I have a question for y'all. Discussion time. We're going to get into some thinking. Why do you think our STAR scores haven't changed much since STAR began? Because as a district, if you pay attention, STAR scores across College Station ISD, they really haven't changed much. They've been pretty consistent. Is there any thoughts, any ideas, any guesses? Well, not as good as the state would say they needed to be. How about that? It's not a trick question.
Well,
I mean,
they keep altering the test.
they keep altering the test. That is exactly right. So how do you explain that? I can explain it. I want you to hear.
Well, some of the information that's going to be on the 8th grade science STAR test is actually 5th and 6th grade stuff that they haven't reviewed in years.
Mm-hmm.
So they would flip-flop it where they believe you should learn things, whether it's a lower or higher grade. Change it.
Right. So yes, that's a very good point. We have some courses where it's multiple years that are covered. And do our 8th grade science teachers try to go back and cover that? Yes, but it's very hard to cover 3 years in 1 year, plus everything you're supposed to teach that year. Right? And it's same thing with social studies. The first time they take a social studies test is in 8th grade. And really, I'm surprised it's not even a Texas history test. Like, I figured that would be the first social studies test they would take, right? Because they take Texas history in 4th grade and then in 7th grade, but they do nothing with it. You know, they draw the correlations between state government and local and national government, but that's about it. So, you know, it's interesting. Any other thoughts? Why?
They change the pass rate.
They change the pass rate every year. That's right. It's a moving target. So the way that it works is we take a test. This past year, we took the test. The kids took the test. We didn't take it. The kids took it. If I took it, I might fail it. I'm just saying. But the kids took the test and later in the spring, because the state was trying to recognize the parents and the schools, saying that we need more time. Our kids need more time to get into the curriculum because the curriculum expectations are so huge. And so they pushed it back, and they take the test in April, late April, and early May. Okay. And so we take that test. We do not get results until June. So we can't do anything with the results, right? We don't know what the passing rates are going to be until after they've given the test. Because what the state does is they wait to see how everybody does across the state. And then they determine, based off of how everyone does, what we're going to set as passing rates for different areas. And so that's that moving target. We can't even really look at prior years to say for sure what it's going to be, because whenever the information comes in and the results start coming in, they can adjust it back down or raise it up a little higher, depending upon what they're seeing. And then we can't even practice good teaching and go back and reteach if our kids are struggling, because they're already gone. They're either gone to summer or they're gone to the next school year. And yes, we have the mandated 5th grade and 8th grade remediation, that you have to have if you're not successful with Student Success Initiative. We have that, but as it was this year, the last round of testing was thrown out because the testing company, Educational Testing Service, messed everything up so badly that it was not even reliable. Like the data is very questionable because there were so many mistakes in the testing processes. I mean, there were documented incidents of tests showing up to schools in Home Depot boxes that were duct tape closed. And so the validity of the test was brought into question. I mean, anyone that's interested, you can Google it yourself. You can just look up STAR test issues in Texas for last year, and you'll just start to see all the news articles that were out there. I mean, lots of issues. And so
That makes me think, if you can throw it out once, why can't you throw it out all? How important is it if you can throw it out?
that's a good question. So why do you think that they won't just throw it?
Because there's a lot of money invested in the STAR procedure, the testers, the test graders, the whole thing.
That's right. It is all about money. It is a huge money issue. That's right. It is a huge taxpayer money issue.
To the detriment of our children actually learning something in school
Yeah.
that would be beneficial to them.
Right. Because they stress over it, because the position they put schools in, some schools really push the test prep and it really stresses everyone out. It really freaks everyone out. And so College Station, we try not to do that. And part of it is right here, and I'm about to talk a little bit about it, and then there's a guy that's going to come and talk that I want all of you, if you're interested, to go to. But the STAR test is designed to show, what do you think? Is it designed to show achievement, like what kids can do? What is it designed to show?
How they take a test.
How well they can take a test.
Because I can verify that kids will know the information, but some kids that are ADHD can't sit and take a 4-hour test, no matter what the accommodations are. It's how they take a test. It's the anxiety of taking the test.
Well, the wording is so strange. It's not testing their knowledge of the item, it's testing how well can they interpret that question.
Absolutely.
And there are some kids that are never going to be good test takers, but that doesn't mean that they're not intelligent, capable children.
Agree.
I agree. This is what the STAR test shows. It's a test of averages. It'll ask the similar types of questions 5 to 8 times to then see how consistently correct a child answers a question. So it doesn't really show whether they really know it or not. They show how consistently do they know it or not. Does that make sense? That's how it's designed. Okay, and this is a norm reference test. That's how they're constructed. But that's not how this is sold to us as a state of Texas. Like, this is the type of test that you're taking. That's not how they sell it to us. They sell it to us under the guise of this is how well your school is doing. This is how well your child is doing. But that's not how this test is designed. Because whenever all the kids do really well in a question, what happens to that question? They throw it away. It hurts the average. So it doesn't show achievement. It doesn't show what they're really capable of. It shows what they're capable of multiple times. But you could argue, people argue that, well, that shows what they really know. But that's not how it's sold. Does that make sense? So here's some tests that are these kind of tests. So SAT test, that's that kind of a test. The GRE test, that's that kind. I mean, you can take a GRE test. Oh my gosh, if I ever have to take one of those again, I never want to do it. It's terrible. Intelligence test, IQ test. That's what kind of test. So now STAR test with my little R fill up there. Yeah. Huh? The Iowa test, yes. All of these standardized tests that are put out there. That's exactly right. So it's a norm reference test. It's designed to discriminate and rank order between students. So it is designed for us to be able to say, you're number 1, you're number 2, you're number 3, you're number 4, you're number 5, you're number 6. Not to say, all of y'all did great on this. It is designed to rank and order the kids. It's designed to rank and order the schools in the district and across the state. That's what it's designed to do. That's not how it's sold. And that's not how the results are interpreted whenever you see the results, right? You look at your results and it tells you your kid achieved this level of mastery on the test, but it's a level of average on the test. And so, just like it says, it's repeated 40 to 65 times throughout the test. They ask the same questions in just different ways. So that's the situation that we're in. And so we're talking about this because is it really about mastery? And this is what John Tanner is going to present and what he's going to talk about whenever he comes in. But this is how we're rated. Okay, we're not rated on mastering the content. We're rated on how much above averages we as a school perform in the different subpopulations, in the different ethnic groups, in the different classes that they divide us up in on the testing results. That's how it's reported out. Okay, and these type of tests have a high correlation with kids in poverty that struggle, because you start talking about academic exposure at an early age, and it's less in a home poverty because they have less resources. Education is not always the highest priority. It's not where emphasis is always placed. I mean, I think about just what my wife and I do not have children of our own, but we have nieces and nephews that have children, and we always buy and support with education-related stuff to really push helping the development of early vocabulary acquisition and just learning early on. But that doesn't happen with a lot of families. And that's a detriment to kids. And so you talk about it puts kids for poverty in a negative situation. And so then they're taking a test that they struggle with. And then we see the results. Because in College Station, the kids that historically struggle are students from poverty, number one, African American students, number two, that are from poverty, and our Hispanic students that are from poverty. The common link, they're all from poverty. Those are the kids that traditionally struggle in our schools. And so then we talk about how can we help overcome that. But part of it is we're taking a test that's not designed for that. And we have less poverty in College Station than they have in Bryan. So we're gonna always score better, as long as that number is the same. I mean, we're as a district 31%, they're 78%. So they have more than twice as many kids in poverty than we have. Does that make sense? But we're compared, they compare us. It's not the same. So, and it's a celebration of averages. And it doesn't tell what we really can do. It's just what we can do consistently over time. And that's not how it's sold to us. So, more about this. I want you to come and listen to him talk. The town hall meeting is going to be about an hour. If you're able to come, I think it would be great. This is the book that he has, and he talks about it. There's some videos you can watch of him if you'd like to, and this is his website. But he takes a very complex issue and can put it into a very conversational layman's term so that you don't feel like, okay, what did he just say? I mean, he really can break it down to a level that makes sense, because even for me, I struggle with understanding all the different components of the different styles and types of tests, because it's complicated. And so he is able to break it down to where it makes sense. So I encourage you, if you're able to attend that on the 6th, then please do that. And part of why we're talking about this is, I kind of talked about this a little bit last time, is we asked, Dr. Ely asked us, do y'all think we should bring him in and have a public conversation? We said yes, because in January, the state's going to start ranking us A through F. And so we talked about some of this before, okay? It's already been done in 17 states, and Florida has been the biggest failure and debacle of it, like we talked about last time. They went back and just restructured the whole thing because it didn't look good, okay? And so they recalibrated to have more A's and B's because it just looked bad. All right, so it doesn't make sense. It's the same thing as STAR testing. They wait till they get the results before they release information, okay? So it's politics, always. And our commissioner, although I think he really has the truest and best intentions, he is still a political appointee. And so whenever we talk about what we see from the commissioner, it's definitely very hopeful, but we'll wait and see, because ultimately he has to answer to him who gave him the job and how he's going to come up with ratings. And Mike Morath, the commissioner, is going to come out with the ratings. He is structuring it right now. Like, he's designing what it's going to be based off of. So no one knows. And this year is going to be a test off of are the scores last year. So this
They didn't
year's,
count.
that didn't count.
That we
That's
didn't
right.
know.
That we didn't know. And this year's just practice. It's just practice.
So it doesn't count again.
So it doesn't, well, but the timing of the ratings, they're gonna come out in January. And what else starts in Austin in January?
Sexual legislation.
The legislative circus session. Okay. Yeah, you got that right. So there's gonna be a preview of A through F out there. However we're ranked as a school, we've already had these conversations. We're not going, yay, we're an A or a B, because it's celebrating the test that is not right for our kids to have to take. And really and truly for us as a district, we're more than a standardized test. We talk about that, and we want to make sure that we're living that message. So whatever we are ranked as, whatever it is, good or bad, it is what it is. We are going to take it for where we are and make our instructional adjustments wherever we need to place our focuses, and we're going to keep moving on. So we're putting all this out now as a district. We met last week, and we said we just need to get out and say this is what it is, because we don't want to look like we're making excuses saying, well, it's a bad test, and da-da-da, because we may get great ratings, and we still think it's a bad test. We still think the process is not good, and we may get bad ratings, and it's the same thing. It's not about the rating for us, it's about the process we have to do. So we're just trying to share that. So this here, I'm gonna get this to Kara and have her email this out to y'all, because I'd like for y'all to think about these questions, so that next time we can talk about these 3 questions. And the first question is, what is the purpose of school for you? I'd like to maybe have some kind of dialogue about that. What are you wanting your children to take away from being a student here at College Station? And then think back to when you were in school. What do you remember the most? What helped you the most? Like, what comes to mind, okay? And this information is coming from, there's a document in this link, and it's based off of a lot of things that we do within our district that guides a lot of conversation and a lot of what happened? I don't know if it's still broadcasting. Did it stop? It guides a lot of conversation and decision making that we have. And so it's one of those things that's we've talked about pieces and parts of it as a district and to our community. And I've written things about it. I've blogged things about it. I'm a part of different groups that works with this document. But basically what this document is, just a brief overview. It's kind of like reading a dissertation in some parts, so don't think, it's a nerdy educational thing. But 35 superintendents 8 years ago got together, and they were griping, like people do whenever they're not happy. And they decided, instead of just griping, what are we going to do to change education? And so they came together, lots of discussion, lots of pieces put in place, but they created this document that talks about what they feel are the most important things for schools. Okay, so if you look in the center, this is the meat of what it discusses right here. Okay, what schools should be about. And so digital learning, how important digital learning is in our schools for our kids today. Okay, new learning standards. So we talk about the different standards, the different TEKs that we have to meet. Right now, the phrase is always, we have to be an inch deep and a mile wide because there's so many standards we have to cover. We can't get deep enough with any of them. We don't have enough time. And so that's a big conversation piece. Assessment for learning, of learning, okay? And then accountability for learning, and so the different accountability pieces that are out there. Transformation and reinvigorated state and local partnership, because there's a disconnect between the state and the local. I encourage you to look through this, read through it, right in here. Most people tend to gravitate toward the digital learning environment, organizational transformation, and some people kind of get involved in here. I really like having conversations with the staff about assessments for learning, changing how we're assessing our kids. But as parents, I would like to have a conversation and get some feedback and thoughts, and what is it that you're seeing and get some of that shaping into the conversations we're having as a district and for me as a school to better serve you guys and your kids and the future kids that are going to be coming through. So I'll give that to Kara and she can send that out. And the next time it'll be in January. We'll be in December. So you got plenty of time to read. You got nothing else to do, right? It's all good. We'll probably send a reminder too to help everyone remember. So that's what I've got.
Mr. Mayor, are you wanting us to write something out, or when we come back in January, we're gonna have a discussion?
Yeah, just come, we're gonna talk about those questions and I'll just ask like, what'd you see, what'd you think, what struck you, what really resonates with you, you know, as a parent, what would you like to see, those kind of things. I'm not expecting you to have like an essay or something like that. I just want us to have a conversation. Hey, now, if you want to write it up, that would be great. You can do that. That would be great. But I'm looking for, yeah, I'm looking for just some conversation and us growing together as a school community and talking about what we need to talk about. Instead of state tests, we talk about what's important for our kids and our education. So, questions? Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, Allison.
You can see there are deposits, all that everybody else stopped is into it, is there. $1,553.57, and then the disbursements, $5,065.66 for the ending balance of $28,785.70. My only question is, have you, Mr. Rand, have you gotten any reimbursement requests for the clubs that have been helping your game day parties?
I haven't yet, so I need to reach out to them to get those going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have that form, Sarah? You have that form, you know? For the
You have
clubs
that
to
form.
fill out.
Yeah, because it was emailed, yes,
Yeah, okay,
yes.
great.
So I'll get in touch with them to get that out.
Any questions for Allison? Okay, let's move on to committee reports. Book fair, anything this month, Heather?
It was, no, thanks to everyone who volunteered to work. I think we actually finished it about the same. We thought we were gonna be a little higher. But, thanks to Mr. Mann, he did a really awesome video. I'm gonna see the entire video. I think the kids are a little more excited about it. We're really gonna do a push in the spring, maybe the same thing. And our spring numbers are really what are bad. So if we can get the spring up, then we'll definitely be ahead of the game. So that's our goal is really. We think we had more signs up this year and have NJHS kids do more signs. I just think a couple of them did signs that several kids said they saw the signs and that helped. It reminded them. So trying, but it's great. The librarian is happy. She gets scholastic money to spend on books in there, and that's really what it does. Is it supports our library, and I think a lot of people know that. So really good for that.
Thanks to you and Tasha, great job, we appreciate it. Box tops and spirit nights, Wendy and Claudia.
Okay, so for our box tops, I submitted $125.10 for box tops, which is pretty good for such a vast collection. That turns over in 10 to 12 weeks, so hopefully in December we'll have a check for that. And then our next big push will be January 27th. That's the deadline. And that info is coming. We'll just have a 7th grade versus 8th grade over the Super Bowl kind of push. So make sure over the holidays as you're picking for Thanksgiving and Christmas, save your box tops and get those ready. We do have a confirmed date as of today, December 6th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Southwest Parkway McDonald's. Be our next spirit night for December. So that's all we have right now. Claudia, did you?
I'm going to share their profit shares that we're going to be investigating.
Yeah, so, everybody's watching their salaries right now, right, for the end of the year maybe. And, we were trying to see, thanks to Kara, about trying new ways to, do some fundraising. some fun things, not only for the kids, but for the moms as well. And as we get ready to do our holiday shopping, we had some people approach us about doing an event for us, a shopping event, and 10% of the proceeds during that event would go to our PTO. And so one of the stores, they're really kind of easier to work with, and they approached us is what is it? What's it doing?
Anything, please.
Anything bling, I'm sorry. And I just got off the phone with her, and she's really easy to work with. We could hold the event, the one-day event, and it's up to us really what we want to do with that. We could hold it for 4 hours, and she would serve us mimosas, which is always nice, with fruit or whatever items we want. And then during those 4 hours, anything that the store would sell, including our purchases, 10% would she would write a check to the PTO. I was telling her that some of the moms work, and so she would be able to hold it for the rest of the day as well. And any purchases during that day would benefit us.
Oh, that's
So
fantastic.
That's kind of fun.
Yep.
Have a little fun there.
Yep.
We're also exploring other avenues like Talbot's, but
Mhm.
since that's at a corporate level, and also Chico's, those things have to be planned earlier, and but I still have to talk to Melissa and Talbot's
Okay, good.
managers. So more to come, but if we would like to go forward, anything Blank says we can do it either early December or after Thanksgiving, so I'm up to what you guys think is the best.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. Yeah, let's pick a date and get it on the calendar. Thank you. Thank you.
On McDonald's, a couple years ago, somebody, the cheerleaders got out there and the mascot, and they wanted to sell apple pies in the drive-thru, and they made they made a bunch of money because the people, when they see the mascot and out there with apple pies, a lot of times the apple pies you get all of the proceeds.
Yes.
They donate the apple pies and then sell them.
Okay.
So, I don't know if that's something you're interested in talking to.
Anything we can do to help, that would be great. Yes. Thank you.
We did it at Oakwood and we were able to get the mascot from here.
To do it.
They've done it here with the cheerleaders.
Yeah.
We've done it here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they'll see the mascot and apple pie. Absolutely. And the colleges are so in town.
No, great suggestion. Thank you. Okay, anything else for Wendy or Claudia? We'll get back to you with the anything bling date once we get that on the calendar.
Kara, I have a question. Do we do the Amazon song? Does anyone do that? The Amazon songs account.
No, Oakwood does.
Do we don't have anyone doing it
Oh,
here.
yeah, Encore does it. No, but we can look into that.
Okay.
Yes.
You have to be on the sign.
I do, I think AMCMS is already on there.
Are they on there?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I think almost every school's on there already, so I don't know how.
You just have to
So,
But Amazon is not.
well, you have to, no, but you have to, your account information has to be in there, so somebody would have had to put it in. Like, I had to put something about it, or a bank account.
So
Okay,
money
yeah,
goes
let's
straight
look
to
into
the
Money goes
that.
straight to the
That's easy money too.
bank. Easy.
Okay.
Amazon Smile.
Amazon
Well,
Smile.
it's Smile, it's actually Smile on Amazon.
But you can buy, it's not like Kroger, you can only be linked to one.
To one.
You can only do it.
Yeah.
I'll look at it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, anything else? Cats helping cats, Tracy and Abby.
Yes, we had a cat day on October 29th. I actually was there. Thank you, Abby, for doing that. We got $250. We were expecting more. Dominic.
Yeah, we didn't know that.
Yeah.
So anyway, we raised $250. We had a donation of $25. And we have a PTO as a parent. Last year we ran into a lot of issues with this. We didn't have a PTO board meeting where a lot of our money was raised.
asked y'all as a group is with our hat day or one donation in PTO right now at $2,275. Last year we spent $2,600 serving 43 families, spending roughly $60 each. So I guess to make sure we understand how much are we trying to raise? Or can we spend the $50,000 that's budgeted, or do we have to kind of offset that, have additional fundraisers? Does that make sense?
When we budgeted that last year, we talked about trying to raise as much as we could to offset that, but that money is there if we needed it. I mean, we would like to try to raise it, but if we
Last year
don't.
We had about 15 unique donations because we didn't have, pretty much all of our donations in the past really were PTO members donating money. So we didn't have that last year because we didn't have that December PTO meeting. So, we're gonna go through the newsletter, I think it's on. But I guess I'm just trying to figure out if we can have another hat day. Last year, Spirit Night was done, Chicken Express, we did that. They just offered to do it. So I'm trying to determine how many families do you think will need to see here?
I can find out. I can talk with the counselors and see where we are with that.
Okay.
It's kind of it's one of those things, it's kind of a moving target.
Mhm.
Last year, we ended up spending $60 just because that's kind of where we ended up. But I just kind of want to have a little guidance on what everybody wants to do. So we can certainly do another hat day if we need to. And I don't know, if there's a Spirit Night that's going to be this person, so we're going to go towards this and on. Just kind of things that we offered last year.
How would y'all feel about,
$2,200 right now with the PTO budget, and I know we want to try to protect that number so we have it for other funds, but it's very difficult just to kind of ask.
We're not being
Right.
asked to approve to donate money.
Because we didn't have any outside donations last year. Like one grant parent last year, we gave $500 that they no longer have a student at the school.
Whatever, I mean, anything you need and everything is covered. I don't know if it's a monetary donation, and people could give money, people did, they gave us money and said, I'm having a good shop, here's 2,500, go shop for me and buy whatever. That wasn't an option, it's a little more work, obviously, but we did get everything covered, so I don't know what to think about, even not for this year.
how would y'all feel about allocating the funds from anything bling or anything we do with Talbots for retail towards Cats Helping Cats? I mean, we have no idea how well it would do, but we could do that if we wanted to.
Also, last year we used just to reserve funds, asking kind of large, expensive totes, and I found some at TJ Maxx, some dollar really big totes, and I noticed yesterday my son and I volunteered at Chrissy's Closet. We ran a reusable tote, you actually can get a 6th item free for the month. So I'd love to tie in, maybe if we can put a flyer for Chrissy's Closet and a tote and use a reusable tote again this year, just to kind of promote that, so that they know we're going that tote. We can tie that in as well, if that's okay. All right, well, we'll get together and talk, but if we wanted to have another hat day, is there
A day?
a preference that doesn't conflict maybe anything else?
I don't think so. I mean, it could be any of the Fridays in
17th,
December. The 16th.
16th.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can have that.
Yeah, we could do another one.
If we should do like a Christmas endowment hat day, I know when I did hat day here, with my daughter, that was always a big one.
Well, that could be another $5 one. Yeah.
The problem is if school gets out Tuesday the 20th.
Right.
We're gonna need to do all of our shopping and distribution. Have it ready, that's
Right.
16th.
So it'd have to
do
be
it the
done the
9th?
2nd or the 9th.
The 2nd or 9th.
Just so we have our money, because it's really, we spent what we have, so we kind of need to know how much we have to go shopping with.
Yeah, I'd say the 9th would probably be a good day.
Okay.
I have a question. Do you, on your teacher, on your staff,
Mhm.
they don't wear jeans, right, during the week? Or just-
Only, yeah, it depends on what we have going on, but typically no.
Okay, so could we tie it into where if we allow the teachers to wear jeans a
Mhm.
day, they have to pay a certain amount, like a $2
Mhm.
for that week? Like to extend it to the teachers as well, not just the kids having to.
Sure. So just have it,
Well, I was gonna say, a lot of the teachers dress up a lot on Halloween.
I know teachers.
yeah, just like they did last year during the food drive.
Yeah.
They started shelling out the money on the food drive day. They got to get jeans all week. They're
And then those Nike shorts. because the kids have to wear Nike shorts.
Yeah.
They were showing on that as well,
Mhm.
so, I mean,
yeah, we could do that instead of pajama day. I mean, I know traditionally the Nike short days made a lot more money than pajama days do.
well, but that's the thing, we don't really know what the weather's gonna be.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's the problem. Right.
I mean, I'm a.
You can always wear them with
Yeah.
We'll do the Nike in the spring for the food drive.
Yeah, so we can do the,
So,
yeah, we'll probably
let's
do
do the
pajamas, and I'm
pajamas.
fine if we do that, one day,
You can do it where you extend that out, like, once in 6 weeks or once a month, where the teachers, you have the one day a month for the teachers to pay their $5 to wear jeans on a Tuesday or whatever, so that money is counted on more, because it's gonna be a consistent income. These teachers will pay to wear jeans.
so the question becomes down what day to do that on. Because the only problem with Mondays is people can forget over the weekend if they don't have reminders.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
No, it's not that we're not trying to spend it. We're just trying to offset it.
So we want to have someone do it?
Pardon?
We want to have someone do it?
You already budgeted 2,000 for them, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But not knowing how well game day parking and if we,
For next
What if you had 60 kids?
right, we don't know how many kids we're gonna have.
Not for next year.
No, for this year.
That's 43 families and we spent $60.
We have $15,000 budgeted for game day parking, and I don't know if we're gonna get it.
Yeah.
And we've already.
And we have 5,000 for spring fundraiser that, so you have 20,000 right now in our budget that.
Yeah, we haven't used all the money.
Right.
And we were counting for it to go somewhere.
Yes. 2,000 of it to cats helping
So we
cats.
need to rebudget.
No.
No.
I mean, we're good, but.
Well,
No.
if anyone wants to make a donation.
Yeah.
So I would say Wednesday, December 7th, looking at the school calendar, that looks like it would be a good day. Just because there's not basketball games going on, there's not other activities occurring where there would be a reason to not participate.
And that's for a teacher Jean Day or.
We could be all together. It could, yeah, we could do it all the same day.
December 7th.
Yeah.
It's $5.
At Oakwood, we used to do $1 per item that you were had.
I think you do a flat rate.
Do y'all want to do $1 or do you want to go higher?
I'd say at least $2.
Yeah.
Just because it's a fundraiser, we're trying to, and that's, of course, I don't want to confuse the kids or anyone. That's the same day as the Food for Families food drive, but I don't know if I want to put it out there that way, because then people are going to think, well, then the money's going for that, whenever it's really going for Cats for Cats. So, but I mean, we'll advertise it the way it should be here on school. I was just looking at what's going on at campus and district and community.
I think
that week.
actually is proactive, because you're saying
Right.
this hits home.
Right.
You know, as a community, we're doing this, but
Mhm.
this hits
Yeah.
home, we're helping those.
As a school, we're doing this.
Mhm.
Can we do something about, I don't know what they use the money for, did they pass that bucket at the high school football games?
They have different things that
this, but I'm like, could we get our NJHS kids to, and it may be against whatever, but to these basketball games, I mean, could we put some kids there and ask for donations just at those games, or, I mean, they could earn service hours and collect money. I mean, I recognize it's the same, same families that are coming to every basketball game, but maybe pick a girls and a boys basketball game between now and then. And
Just do one, yeah, like have a push.
I mean, I'm just throwing out ideas.
Sure.
And I want to add that with Peters Township has had great success in the past few years. I've done a couple things. I've done like the rooftops, the whole thing, start on it's all for the kids. For $8, sometimes there's $2 or a candy bar. You might charge $5 for one, and because it's cats with kids, we raise hundreds of dollars. I did it. I loved it. Like, I left it, and you know what I did is I left one thing in the office, and I had little those, you know, like spear sticks, and we did pumpkins one year. It was for a book year, taught some of the kids out, and I just die cut a bunch of little pumpkins. It was easy, extravagant, and it was $5 a pumpkin. And all we got was the store, and then they give them back to me and then sell again. You know, but I mean, all the kids and the parents really liked having the kids, so you know, it was easy. Just another thought. I mean, if you really have somebody about Terry or something, I don't know what you can do.
Well, if we were to do a trade-in office and just do a bunch of tax at $5 to $10, just so it's not foundations, who could monitor that and collect that? That's something we could do. I don't know, like toothbrushes and a bunch of stuff on there because they may get a whole smattering of things, and it's really hard to sort for 60 families with 2 of them. But if we do like a trade that just has just small amounts, it's $5, $10 here and there.
That's true.
I just don't have, I work full time, so I just don't have a lot of time.
Well,
Check in.
we could also put one in teachers. I mean, I know our teachers don't get paid much, but there's a lot of teachers that want to help these kids. So this makes sense.
Could you set a sign up, you get and on your sign, just have like $5 gift card instead of items, maybe, you know, or both, maybe both.
Then you can get real specific.
Yeah, I mean,
not a
it's
certain
certain
brand, whatever, because you're trying to make the whole thing.
Right, that was what happened last year, we got kind of much.
Where did you do most of your shopping?
No, we did the sign up changes, go out broadly, I think last year we did a flyer and we got.
Yeah, and
I
a lot
just,
of
we
people
just
may
got
not,
one in
I
previous
rarely
year.
come in unless it's PTO.
Right.
Well,
Or event.
if we put a tote out, right there where the chairs are at the nurse's office, where the kids could drop it in there, or the parents could drop it in there.
And we got it changed
Yeah.
last
Oh,
year,
yeah.
it was just the shop. I'm welcome to whatever ideas, like I said, last year we kind of got stuck in talking to people the previous 2 years, it was all PTO donations, that's all they received, or whatever the cats only have. PTO.
Yeah, well, right.
I don't want to hit these limited people up over and over again.
I agree. And so, I mean,
That's my time already.
we could do a sign, you know, if we did, because we always put decorations. In fact, student council's already organizing what they're going to start decorating. If we did a tree, kind of like the angel tree where you know, yeah, I think it's worth a shot to see.
The kids might want to do that.
I agree. And
Might want to say, oh, I'll bring it.
right. And we could keep it to simple things like that, you know, a tube of toothpaste, you know, bar soap, whatever it is. But I think that that's worth trying to see what we would get.
And that might reiterate to them what.
Right.
Some of these kids understand cats only cats, but they understand things.
Right.
Right.
It doesn't register with them. Yeah.
Well, even if you wanted to, just think about if you wanted to move it, they have like the first, second boys basketball game or basketball game. Go to it over there when you walk into the, you know, like in that area, so that all those parents can get to. Or walks or something.
Definitely could do that. And so I was looking to see what would be some good basketball games. Yeah, oh yeah, we definitely get in JHS.
They have to have all those hours.
a lot of ones, that's
I know, that's what I was looking, they don't have,
Yes.
it's girls, and then we have the girls tournament.
It's like girls basketball.
When is that one?
We play CSMS on November 21st. Did
Okay.
you get that together and have that at the CSMS meeting? Well, we'll have, I'll be
Yeah,
okay.
okay.
That can probably help. Okay, I mean, I'm upstairs, if I'm parents.
Tracy, Abby, let's the three of us meet offline and we'll come up with our plan and we'll get it going. Thank you. Great ideas, everybody.
Thanks for all ideas.
Okay, Dawn.
So today, I'm getting this from the final newsletter that will be for November and December. And I've heard from teacher appreciation, shopping cats, book clear, game day, box tops, ads, spirit night. Anybody else? Just go in and then out.
Claudia, do you think we could get our Anything Bling date solidified so we could get that in?
What do y'all think? Because she's open to anything.
Did she give you any like possible dates?
Dates are open. The only thing she was asking if we want to do mornings, that we do Monday through Friday, any day, the week. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Would a Monday, a Tuesday?
So here's my suggestion on that. If you wait till the 1st or the 15th, like the 15th or the 30th, something like that, other than us.
Well, would you rather do it in December or would you like to do it in November? What would you, what do you guys think?
Yeah, this, I would like to have all everything in place tonight.
Maybe
Organize the next week for distribution.
Maybe the 30th or the 1st.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Wednesday or Thursday.
Sure, December the 1st.
December 1st?
Okay. So I will go ahead and tell her and firm up the date, and then, I don't know when you need more information on this. I'm ASAP. Okay. I will give you the information today. So you guys said the 1st?
Thursday the 1st.
Okay. I will give you the information, and then, I don't know when our next meeting is.
January.
Yes, so, we're probably not gonna be able to, talk about this unless we email each other, but since this is gonna benefit our PTO, if you can bring your friends, if you can, it's gonna be a fun event, I'll talk to her, so it's a fun event. But if you're not interested in purchasing anything, bring your friends. We'll see what happens. But I'll give you
Okay.
information to later.
Anything else for Dawn? Dances.
Dance went well. I think you want to do some snagging it, but, we made about $600, so. Much. That's about it.
Wendy?
Oh, yeah, just one comment. I wanted to ask Mr. Mans, is there something we can do to increase teacher participation at the dances, or just in general? I know the high school would like to see, and in some cases mandates for them to be at the dances or graduation or other things that are happening at the school. When we're running that gym, last time we had, a couple, 2 weeks ago, we were running that gym. From 8:30 to 10, we had one parent volunteer, and there were 200 kids in there. It has deteriorated from when the first time I was here was 2009 and 2010 school year. And the number of volunteers we had were way higher, and there was more organized play. But now it's just basically a free for all. We could not do the things we had planned because there were not enough adults that wanted to come. It's a tough job because a lot of parents are not gonna come in there and crack heads, which you have to do because they're acting crazy. But if the teachers were there, it might have a little more control. And there were 2 teachers that signed up for this, one for the second hour, one for the third hour, for the sign up list. I never saw them. So I don't know if they showed up or not, but I had no idea what they were doing. So there's no communication between the dance people who have the teachers that did show up in the first hour. I saw them trying to help them and put them where they need to go. There needs to be a little more participation for that 1 hour. So that will allow for us to have some other things that could go on. We had to cancel one of the games we were playing and not do the other one, the third one, just because there's just not enough. You can't do dodgeball with one person and 200 kids. You just can't. But they've always had this gym. This gym has always been open like this since.
But why would it have, it's a dance.
It's a dance.
And people, they're like, the gym is open, like.
It's been that way. It was there before 2009. You can't get them all in there.
You don't have to dance in the gym.
That was my.
When I went to school here, we had it's called the sports dance, and you dance, and like, it was in the small gym that's still here. And I don't understand, like, I'm just baffled. Like, my daughter's like, it's so dumb. All the boys are playing sports. I'm not gonna sit there and stare at them. So, sorry. No, I was like, my son said he didn't want to go because all his friends only play basketball, and he doesn't play basketball. He ended up going, but he said all the boys just play basketball.
Well, we were trying to do other things in the gym, but if you have no parent volunteers, it's impossible.
That's a boy.
And the easiest thing to do is to throw out basketballs.
What's that?
Can they move the dance into the gym?
We could. I mean, last year I ended up closing the gym at high school, and it was just the dance in the cafeteria, and it was fine. They actually danced and had fun.
I think if you just have dance.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. Well, and there was the issue if there was not a lot of adult supervision. There were about 500 balls going in 500 different directions. It wasn't safe. It wasn't good. And so I am very much open to moving it to the big gym and having just a dance. I mean, the history of why do we have the dance at Consol is because it goes back to whenever we had 2 middle schools and 1 high school. It was just an 8th grade dance.
Right.
And so, people were asking, well, why don't we have them all at the high school? Well, then it's not special. And the other piece is it's very hard. Like, I booked that date for the high school in September, and there were only 6 days that were open in the spring for me to choose from. I do have it, yeah. Yeah, there we go.
Thank
And
you,
so,
Wendy.
Here where we have more space.
well, there's plenty of space at the high school, the cafeteria, but if we're talking about the fall dance and we have it, I mean, it's fun to have it, because then the 8th graders, they do get that preview of, hey, this is where we're going to go to school. I don't have an issue with that. But I think that, yes, we would get more participation. Plus, it would be cooler instead of the cafeteria because it's so warm in there, and the humidity is always an issue. If we had it in the big gym, and then go from there.
Well, if we're not gonna have anyone volunteer or the teachers are not gonna come out and help, then it needs to go. But if we're going to have people volunteer to control it, because it is a fun piece, the boys do like it, I would say. But if we had more things, because when in 9 and 10, we had like 6, 8 stations, multiple things. I mean, not just sports related, and gave the kids many options to do different things. And then the dance in the cafeteria. So, but now, because there's not enough help, you can't do that. And so you just have to do something where a large number of kids can play, and the easiest thing to do is throwing out basketballs. But, I mean, if we're not gonna have people helping, then it needs to go.
Well, no, but I think if the kids actually came and had a dance, then they might
That's all they
actually.
have to do.
Because whenever we closed it last year and
Yeah.
didn't close the sports court, after we got, it forced everybody to dance floor.
Well,
and they danced.
It's worth a try for next fall.
Yeah,
That was just an option.
yeah, we'll just move it straight to
I
the
think
gym.
it's great, we should have gym meetings. If we do it at the high school, which I think is great, I think the gym, yeah. I think it's
Yeah.
the social interaction they need to
Yep.
learn instead of.
Separating out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the option, it's probably what they're gonna do, to be honest. Like, boys. Just give them one option, make them enter. Yeah.
All right.
Great feedback. Thank you. Game day parking. Anything? Oh, yes. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. This last game, we made an embarrassing.
It's okay.
$1,300.
It was the game, Rosie.
But it was also participation. We had from the teachers, really, and from the students as well. We had one teacher leave, like, pretty soon after we started, so then that limited the amounts of locations that the students could be, because we only had one sponsor watching the students. So then they couldn't be as spread out to be able to get, and then once the students started leaving locations, people aren't gonna know to turn to come down to us. True, the game was not a big game. Even the attendance at the game explained the reason why we didn't fill a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. But
This week should be really good.
this week, we hope it won't take much of all this time. The game starts at 6:30. And we're gonna start at 2:30. Hopefully we can start at, let's just say 1 or 1:30. We have the Science Club and Crime Stoppers coming. And I've contacted both of those sponsors and kind of let them know a little bit more specifically on where we need them and the students to go.
We like orchestra to be there every single time.
Mr. Dustin's really good.
Mr. Dustin is good. This should be a permanent assignment.
Right.
How many more adult volunteers do you need in
I
addition to the
think we're
clubs?
good for the 12th. I need some for the 19th. The 19th is the UTSA game. We just figured out the game starts at 11 a.m. So it's gonna be an early start for opening the parking lot. We were thinking 9 o'clock in the morning on that one. I have someone, what? Yes, yes, you're done by 11. And again, I mean, you're either done at game time or you're done when it's full. So whichever comes first. We don't have on the list that you sent me, on the spreadsheet that you sent me, there is not a sign up for the student associations for the 19th.
There's not?
No. It's listed on the game day, I mean, on LSU game, but not the 19th.
Okay. Well, I'm sure we can get that taken care of really quick.
So I need to know who's gonna do that so that I can contact the sponsors for that one.
At work, when the groups, like I know, like NJHS is done, and like we're doing publicity on LSU. Is it all put in one pot and you distribute it, or are y'all doing it by game? Cause like, kind of suck your games.
We just make the money and we don't, they're up to.
So what we're doing is we're dividing it evenly.
Okay.
So we have the projection of what we anticipated making. And so then we took 25% of that and then we're dividing it out amongst the numbers of groups. Cause it's not fair.
Yeah, we don't want to penalize anyone.
Everyone wants Alabama and Tennessee, the big games, and we just can't do that. So this way it's fair.
Any other questions for Rosie and Memory?
The game on Thanksgiving it's an evening game. It's a 6:30 p.m. game. So, and I'm assuming that helping with that one. That one will be DC Kids and Crime Stoppers. DC Kids is a big group.
Yeah, I think we have a lot.
Well, see, and that's the thing I need to know is how many of those people are going to be gone. Because if it's Thanksgiving and people are going out of town, those kids may sign up, but they don't realize that they're not going to be here. So we need to make sure on those, if I can ask you to kind of be that.
Yeah,
talk
just
to
ask
them.
her.
I just need to, yeah, she does.
Ask her for a teacher, but yeah, I'll follow her.
If you can tell me how many will be there for that. Crime Stoppers is a smaller group. We've got one girl that's on Crime Stoppers that's pretty good though, so she's.
But I think that the goal is still within reach. I do think that last time, once we saw kids walking back up with a sponsor, I mean, our traffic ended. And
And so that's the most important part, are in our 2 locations so that people know to turn. That's really all it is. They don't know to come.
You're right.
So we have 3 games left, and we're gonna try to get to your goal. Good job.
You're doing a great job. Thank you. Any questions before we move on? Jen, Kelly, do y'all have anything? Okay. Skate day, you can, yes.
The skate day is officially December 20th, which is the Tuesday we get out from 2 to 3:30, just like we've done in the past. $5 to get in with a can good, $6 without. All have signs go up, first week of December. So,
Okay.
Thank you for doing
Great. Thank you.
Jen used to be that, right?
Yes.
You did, okay.
Yes, I saw that in the draft. Okay, teacher appreciation, Paula.
And we have 2 sign-up genius just going out this month. One will be for the staff meeting next week, and desserts, because we're also hosting citywide PTO meeting next Wednesday, so we'll put desserts on that. And so the desserts will need to be here that morning, not at the 3 o'clock time that we normally do, so that we can have that for the new meeting. And then we will have another sign-up genius going out the school supplies that we will, still collating the list from all the teachers, but we will put that on so that we will distribute those after Thanksgiving. And then we will have a luncheon in December, and we'll have a sign-up genius going out for that next month.
Great, thank you. Nikki is sick. She couldn't be here today, but we are working on the teacher and student grants, so we'll be getting that information to you soon. Ashley, anything from VIPS? No? Okay. Heather's not here. Okay. We will not be meeting again until January. Allison and I are in the process of looking at where we are financially. As you can see, we've got a lot of money in the bank, but we're going to look at what we have versus what we've projected to spend for the rest of the year. So you may get an email between now and January asking you to vote on something. I've asked Mr. Mann what he would like to see money spent on if we do have any excess funds, and he would like to put more money towards the teacher and student grant program. So be watching for more information on that. Any questions before we wrap up? Okay, thank you for your time. Would anyone like to make a motion to adjourn? Amy, Kelly second, all in favor? Thank you, ladies.